What would you do if you found out someone was selling your home, your private sanctuary, right out from under you, with your own rugs and dishes in the photos? That's exactly what happened to Sarah Wells, and let me tell you, she didn't just sit back and let it happen. Her story's a wild ride, one that'll make your blood boil and your heart race, because it's not just about a house. It's about fighting tooth and nail against a system rigged to wear you down. Sarah wasn't one for sentimentality, but the little cabin at the end of a gravel road outside Asheville was her exception. Built in the 70s, it creaked, had outdated pipes, and wasn't much to look at. But it was hers pure solitude, no neighbors, no streetlights, no HOA breathing down her neck. She'd inherited it from her aunt 3 years ago, spruced it up with a decent security system, a solid gate lock, and a better well filter. It was her escape from the city's chaos, a place to breathe where the world didn't claw at her. She didn't visit often, paid the taxes, kept the land tidy, and had her buddy Tom from the hardware store check on it every few months. Then, one drizzly Tuesday, a text from an old coworker stopped her cold. "You selling your Asheville place? It's on Zillow." Sarah laughed it off at first, figuring it was a mix-up. But when she clicked the link, her breath caught. There was her cabin, down to the warped porch railing and the crooked oaks she couldn't bear to chop down. The photos were fresh, her rugs, her plates, even the pencil sketch of a wolf above the fireplace. "Turnkey mountain retreat," the listing bragged. "Recently updated, perfect for Airbnb." The price? Dirt cheap, designed to hook investors fast. The seller? Some outfit called Harrow and Stone Holdings. Sarah's pulse hammered. The listing claimed the place was vacant, tours by appointment. Vacant? She was headed there next week to check the generator and soak in the quiet. Her skin crawled at the thought of strangers traipsing through her home, maybe even sleeping there. She dialed the contact number voicemail. She left a vague message about wanting a tour, hung up, and cleared her next 2 days. This wasn't getting solved over the phone. She packed a bag, locked her city apartment, and hit the road before noon, her mind racing. Was her title hacked? County records screwed up. She'd gone through probate with a lawyer. Her deed was ironclad. This was either a colossal mistake or something sinister. 3 hours later, she pulled onto the familiar dirt path. The trees looked the same, the old fence at the property line still rusted. But as she neared her gate, dread hit like a punch. The gate chain shut with a padlock only she and Tom could open was swinging wide, scraping the dirt. Her tires crunched as she parked, heart pounding. A keypad lock gleamed on the front door, hers was a deadbolt. The porch was swept, flower pots blooming with marigolds she hadn't planted. Citronella lingered in the air. She touched the doorknob too clean, then froze as the screen door creaked. A woman in a loud floral blouse stepped out, clutching a clipboard and an iced tea, smiling like a shark at a picnic. "Here for the tour?" she chirped. Sarah blinked, words stuck. The woman, call her Janet, sipped her tea. "No open house today, but you can take a quick peek if you're serious. Investors coming in 30. Sarah's voice came out low, sharp. "This is my house." "Who are you?" Janet laughed, fake as plastic. "Sweetie, that's not how this works. The property's under contract. Want to see it or not?" Heat flooded Sarah's face. "I'm Sarah Wells. I own this house. Explain yourself." Janet's smile flickered, then hardened. "I'm sure you're confused. Happens more than you think. Talk to our legal team. I'm just the coordinator, Janet." She offered a handshake like they were at a barbecue. Sarah didn't bite. "You're trespassing," she said, stepping back, phone in hand. "I'm calling the sheriff." Janet didn't blink, just sauntered off, sipping her tea. Sarah dialed 911, voice shaking as she explained. Someone had changed her locks, listed her home online, and was showing it like it was theirs. The dispatcher promised a deputy. As Sarah waited, staring at her cabin still hers on paper, she felt fury and helplessness twist in her chest. This wasn't a glitch. It was theft, bold and daylight clear. If they thought she'd roll over, they'd picked the wrong woman. The sheriff's cruiser rolled up slow, like the deputy didn't want to stir the dust. Deputy Carter, young but already weary, stepped out, clipboard in hand. Sarah laid it out, her property, the fake listing, Janet playing Realtor. She handed over her deed, tax records, ID. Carter nodded, scribbling, then approached Janet, who waved mid-phone call, oozing charm. She handed him papers official-looking, too official. Sarah's stomach sank as they talked, Janet gesturing like she owned the place. Carter returned, face neutral. She's got a lease agreement, claims she's listing it for the seller. I'm the owner, Sarah snapped. I didn't authorize this. Carter sighed. Your docs check out, but this looks civil. 2 parties, 2 sets of papers. I can't decide who's right here. Sarah stared, incredulous. So you're levying her here? Carter bristled. I'm filing a report. Get a lawyer, file an injunction. I can't arrest without clear trespass or a break-in. Sarah pointed at the keypad lock. They changed my locks. He shook his head. No forced entry. I can't act on that alone. He left her with an incident number and drove off. Janet sauntered back, clipboard like a shield. Told you, sweetie. It's just real estate. File your papers, but I've got showings. Sarah's teeth ground. 5 minutes to leave, or I'm changing the locks and bolting the gate. Janet smirked. Go ahead. Damage anything, and the investors will sue you. Sarah didn't sleep that night, parked outside her house, eyes on the windows. New curtains, ones she didn't hang, swayed. A man's shadow paced the levying room past midnight, phone to his ear. He hadn't used the driveway. Whoever he was, he belonged there. Morning came. Sarah checked her title at the county recorder's office, still hers, no liens, no transfers. Harrow and Stone? A P.O. box and dead phone numbers. Their broker's license was from another state. The Department of Real Estate had no record of them. Then a utility notice hit. Someone tried to switch her electric account. She canceled it just in time, hands shaking. They weren't just listing her house, they were erasing her. Back at the cabin, a pickup idled out front. 2 guys measured the eaves, Janet chatting nearby. Sarah stormed out, crowbar in one hand, phone in the other. You're trespassing. This isn't for sale. Janet stepped forward. Don't get dramatic, Sarah. Sarah's voice cut like glass. Leave, or I'm calling the sheriff and staying on the line. Janet scoffed. You think you're the first whining about your little cabin? These deals are done before you blink. Sarah stared her down. Then I'll undo one. That night, she called a real estate lawyer, Ethan Cole. He didn't sugarcoat it. Expensive, slow, but winnable if she didn't back down. They're betting you'll quit, he said. Sarah didn't. She camped in the house, cut off the keypad lock, reinstalled her deadbolt, braced the windows, and slapped a sign on the gate. Private property. Not for sale. Trespassers arrested. It wasn't enough, but it was something. The siege began. Deliveries arrived, Amazon packages, furniture, a mini fridge, all for Harrow and Stone Guest Unit A. Sarah sent them back or dumped them in the woods. Janet returned with a guy in a blazer claiming a financial hold on the property. Sarah blocked the porch. You're not entering. He shrugged. This'll end in court. Janet tossed her coffee cup. You're clueless, Sarah. Keep fighting, it's your funeral. They left, but Sarah knew they'd be back, testing her limits, staying just shy of criminal. She documented everything, every delivery, every face, every car. Ethan had her file fraud reports, serve cease and desist letters, and fortified the house, industrial locks, floodlights, cloud-backed cameras. She laminated her deed, hung it on the wall, a reminder she wasn't crazy. Then the gate swung open again. No cars, just fresh tire tracks out back, sneaking through a vacant lot. Sarah and Tom trenched it with railroad ties, hiding them under brush. That night someone cut her power wires sliced clean, cameras dead. She hauled in a gas-powered generator, its growl her defiance. A fake neighborhood compliance letter demanded fines for the violations. Sarah burned it. A black SUV idled down the road, tinted windows, no plates. It didn't approach, just watched. Sarah sharpened her chainsaw blades. By day 8, she was a machine, short naps, phone charged, lights blazing. The gain shift had no more fake tours, just shadows in the trees, boot prints that vanished, cars slowing but never stopping. Ethan's injunction barred false claims on her property, and the state audited harrow and stone. But Sarah had to hold the line. On night 9, the SUV parked closer, engine off. Sarah sat on the porch, shotgun unloaded but Cybele, staring it down. It left after 20 minutes. Morning brought her mailbox in the ditch. She marched into the Department of Consumer Protection with a binder, listing screenshots, deed copies, delivery logs. Agent Mark Tate didn't flinch. He showed her 5 other properties, all rural, all hit by similar scams. It's organized, he said. They target empty lots, absentee owners. Most don't fight like you. Sarah's throat tightened. What if they don't wait for legal? Mark handed her his card. Call the sheriff, then me. The Zillow listing vanished. Sarah checked every site, nothing. Then she found a red card under her gate. No asset is ever truly isolated. It wasn't a threat, it was a taunt. They knew she was fighting, and they were recalculating. Days later, Tom called. Someone scoped his shop at 2 a.m., targeting the shed where Sarah borrowed tools. They were tracing her allies. Another utility hack tried to switch her account with a forged signature. Sarah filed a protective hold, waiting in line, feeling the walls close in. Then, pending sale, appeared in orange paint across her garage. Deputy Carter returned, serious now. You've got cause to use reasonable force if they try entering. That night, the SUV rolled right up, headlights off. A figure left a box on the porch at 3:14 a.m. and vanished. Inside, fake contracts, a forged title transfer, and a Polaroid of Sarah by the gate, hammer in hand. They were building a case to paint her as unhinged. Ethan warned her. They want possession, not the title. Stay calm. 2 days later, Janet returned with a guy in a tactical vest, viewing a court summons. Sarah spoke through her intercom. Last warning? The guy sneered. Open the door, or we're breaking it. Sarah grabbed the chainsaw, revved it, and shouted. Try it! They backed off, but the guy pointed at her camera, a silent vow. Mark called. The summons was fake, a desperate move. You're outlasting them, he said. Then a new application hid a transfer of occupancy paired with an emergency inspection. Sarah met Deputy Vaughn in her yard, documents ready. It's forged, she said, handing over Mark's number. A white SUV pulled up, no plates. A woman at Janet stepped out, all business, with 2 men in branded gear. We're here for a reassessment, she said coolly. Sarah didn't blink. Leave, or it's forced entry. Vaughn backed her. No legal right to enter. The woman pressed, calm but icy. We're authorized for conditional transfer. One man raised a scanner. Sarah grabbed the chainsaw, unstarted but heavy. One step closer, and you deal with me. Vaughn's hand hovered near his belt. The moment stretched, taut as wire. The woman retreated, smooth as silk. You're good at this, she said. Sarah's reply was steel. I'm done. Vaughn warned her. The county got a query about declaring her unfit, a bid to seize her property. Sarah called Mark, Ethan, and a security guy, Ray, who set up counter-surveillance and handed her a folder of aliases used by her intruders. No questions, just results. Weeks later, the scam unraveled. Subpoenas hit Harrow and Stone's fake office. Mark's probe tied them to a network faking digital deeds. Other owners fought back, inspired by Sarah. The county tightened its systems. Sarah sold the cabin to a retired firefighter, Dan, who kept her laminated deed as a reminder. She left, not scared but changed. The house wasn't silence Anna Marie, it was memory, every creak a scar. Months later, a friend sent a link to a vague listing: same fence, same porch, someone else's home. Sarah didn't hesitate. She knew what to do.